Now, ever since I was a kid, I almost exclusively played Nintendo games. More specifically, platformers. In fact, my first memories of playing video games were at my cousin's house, playing New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and so obviously, I think that platformers are the best kind of video game. But I have a friend, Elliot, who, from his time playing Roblox FPSs and Call of Duty, thinks that first-person shooters are better. And so we're here today to hash it out, with our Judge Thomas presiding over this case.
FPS is better than platformer, and here's my first point why. You can play it with other people. All of the mainstream FPS games are multiplayer games where you play with large amounts of people. You can't play with other people on a platformer. Sure, there's like a 2 and 3 player mode. You're not playing with 30 to 60 other people, and there's no competition basis. You just walk around. There's nothing to actually do in a platformer. You walk around and you jump. That's really it.
Elliot, have you ever heard of something called Super Mario 3D World? It is quite possibly one of the greatest multiplayer games ever. The amount of memories that I have with my brothers and my cousin playing that game and just like throwing each other off the cliff and killing each other and yelling at each other, it's so fun. The game is all about arguing. You say, oh, there's no multiplayer. What you really need to say is there's no online multiplayer. And you know what? Platformers don't need other people to make their games good. And they also don't need other people to spam the N-word in chat. Platformers are great and simple games on their own. They're simple fun. Yeah, sure, the premises might not be as extravagant as, I don't know, the Cold War or something, because they don't need to be, because they accomplish what they set out to do. Just make fun, simple games, and like almost all of them achieve that. Now, honestly, I'm not going to speak for all platformer games because some of them are bad, I will say that. Platformers are simple fun, but also they're usually relatively cheap. If you look at these indie platformers, like Hollow Knight, Celeste, Cuphead, they run for like 10, 20 bucks max. But like, what? I tried to buy Black Ops 6 so I could play with you, Elliot, and it was gonna run me like $100. Sorry for interrupting the video, but no, I'm actually absolutely wrong here. I looked at the price on Steam and it's 70 bucks, not 100. So I was wrong. Alright, bye.
Because you're broke as hell and can't afford it. Get some cash!
For us brokies out here, if we just want simple fun, we can get it for cheap.
Hugh, have you ever played Hollow Knight?
Okay, I have not, but I've seen a lot of reviews for it and gameplay, and it looks so fun.
Okay, have you played Cuphead?
Yeah, I've played a Cuphead. I've gotten very far in it.
Okay, what boss? What boss?
Oh, I can't remember.
He can't remember because he doesn't play Cuphead. He might have played it, but Cuphead wasn't fun enough to be retained in his memory.
I played it like 2 years ago, Elliot.
A fun game should be something that you can play over and over again.
Your point is no, because at this point, we're not talking about platformers, we're talking about Cuphead as a game. And while I will still defend Cuphead as a game, we're not talking about that.
When it comes to FPS, right, you can have so many funny moments. Sure, you might have committed patricide on your brothers for some reason, but it's just patricide. You know what you have more fun doing? When you're playing a first-person shooter and you tell your teammate, don't peek that wall, and he peeks the wall and flies into the back of the house because he got hit in the head with a 50 caliber. That is a funny, comical, Looney Tunes-esque moment that makes me tickle my pickle. You don't get the same ha-ha that you would if you were playing an FPS. When it comes to an FPS, there are multiple variations. Some of them have stories and are entirely story-based. Some of them are entirely multiplayer-based. Some of them have both, like Call of Duty, which I have a severe addiction to right now. I've already spent around 70 bucks on that game. FPS shooter games can have so much more content than just a basic platformer. With your basic platform, you have Mario and you have Cuphead, but it's all entirely story-based. And there's never really a moment where you're like, whoa, right? It's just like, oh, that's cool, or wow, that's crazy. You don't get the same experience that an FPS shooter can give you when you're in the middle of a cutscene, which platformers don't tend to have, by the way. When you're in a beautifully made cutscene or a fight scene, and it makes you want to yell and just whip it out. It's that type of experience that makes an FPS game so much better than a basic platformer.
Alright, fine. I will admit, yeah, with some FPSs, you can get more, like, moments that you can clip. But let me remind you, that's not just for FPSs, and in some platformers you can get that, so I feel like it's kind of a specified sort of thing. Like, again, like I said, you can kind of get that in 3D World, but even disregarding that, yeah, sure. But like I said, platformers are simple fun, and they might not have these, like, funny moments, although I will say a lot of them have fantastic and funny dialogue. What they can excel at, especially in the indie realm, is really great story. Unlike these rich execs of AAA game studios, indie games are willing to take risks, and because of that, they are going to consistently have better stories rather than what? Shoot the guy. Oh, it's the Cold War. And also, like, what is this obsession with, like, simulating war? I know that's the whole genre of FPS.
You play a 30-year-old man with a full-grown mustache who saves a 16-year-old princess from getting sexually assaulted by a giant turtle dragon hybrid.
Hey, Peach is not 16 years old. Okay, we're getting off track because Peach does not look like a 16-year-old.
Because you want all underage women to look of age, right?
She's 400 years old, even though she looks 8 years old.
That's just lolly.
At that point, just look up CP, honestly. Like, you're not kidding anybody.
You know lolly is CP, right? Don't make me do this again. The Protect Act of 2003 takes child pornography and lolly. They are the same category of things legally. By federal definition, they're the same thing.
Elliot.
Yeah.
Get back to
Judge, bomb Elliot's house.
Yeah, and you chose a bomb because I'm Indian. Okay, bro.
Platformers, better stories than these AAA FPS game studios execs are gonna come up with. Because they're better risk takers. Because they're smaller and they're not like, oh, money, we need money. And they're not just gonna put out the same goddamn game every single year. There are, what, 21 Black Ops games?
No!
Hold on.
Where did you get 21 from? There's like 7 or 8 games. Let me remind you that the story is actually good. In Modern Warfare 3, skip forward about 30 seconds if you haven't finished Modern Warfare 3. But in Modern Warfare 3, Soap McTavish, who you play as for like 3 or 4 whole games, literally gets offed at the end of the story and gets no plot armor. And it's one of the biggest plot twists, probably in Call of Duty history, to just have Soap die. It wasn't even dramatic. He gets up from the ground, goes in for a knife attack, and gets shot in the head. It was very fast, there was no plot armor, and it was a great story development, because one of the last things that happens in the Modern Warfare 3 story is them spreading his ashes off a cliff. If that isn't a banger story to take a character that you've played as or played with for 3 to 4 games, which is like 4 to 5 years, if that's the one guy that you've known and they just off him, that is an insane story development that I think was very good, because it gives them something to build off of in the next game that is not a straight up cash grab. I rest my case.
Just because these platformers don't have like the most interesting story that also you need to play like 5 games to get and probably cost you like $500 to get there, you don't need like the best PC or system to run platformer games. They're built to be pretty small. I'm gonna say this again and again. Platformers are simple, fun, but they can also lead into deeper and richer stories. And hold up, let me find my next point. Oh yeah, game mechanics. Let's talk about Mario Odyssey. Now, Mario Odyssey is the latest 3D platformer from Nintendo, and what they've basically done is taken Mario's moveset from every single prior Mario game and put it all into one game that you're not really gonna find on FPS games. Now, some of our games can have these restrictions to them, but that only makes their developers think outside of the box, and that's where you get moves like the ground pound, the wall jump. Like, these are like unheard of moves before platformer games came along and invented them, and now they're mainstream.
No.
Prove me wrong, Elliot. What are you gonna do in an FPS? Jump, shoot, maybe roll. But again, Metroid did it first.
Black Ops 6 just introduced the dynamic movement system to help increase the range of movement for players, where you can dive in a omnidirectional motion.
Oh, now you can move diagonally.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's almost like you could do that in every single 3D Mario game before that.
Could it be that you just really want to have sex with Mario? Like, that's probably the case.
No, not Mario. Mario's kind of fat.
So Luigi?
I'd be down. Let me talk about how fuckable Luigi is. I'm gonna send you a game theory video about how big Luigi's dick is.
No, I don't want to see that. See, this is what happens when people like Nintendo. They look at this stuff. That's why Peach Rule 34 is one of the most searched up things. Dude, I'm not watching that.
Yeah, I have one more thing to say. FPSs are all copies of themselves. Yeah, sure, the story might progress a little bit, but what are you doing? Oh, shooting people? Like, tell me, Elliot, how many FPSs have you played?
Like 5.
Name them.
We got Gunfight Arena on Roblox, and any other Roblox game with a gun that I played.
Okay. Elliot, that's like me saying that I played Mario, when in actuality, I played the Mario ripoff on Scratch.
I'm sorry, nigga, they are platformers. Whatever you played on Scratch and whatever Mario is, they're the same thing because they're both platformers.
Oh yeah. One more thing before we pass this off to Thomas. Platformers aren't gonna try to take all your fucking money. What you said, you spent $70 on Black Ops 6, is that to buy the game, or just other stuff to add on to the game, Elliot?
Those are add-ons.
Oh, okay. If my memory serves me correctly, never in my goddamn life has Mario popped up while I'm playing, like, Super Mario Odyssey, and gone like, whoa, you want to buy this skin? You can give us money. No, platformers respect the players.
You understand that all the skins and guns are purely cosmetic, and all the attachments that, come on the gun, you can just play for them.
So that is going to be the end of my points, and then we are going to move on to Thomas, who is going to judge for this episode which is better, Thomas, platformers or first-person shooters.
People of America.
Our fellow Americans.
My
I
fellow
call it.
individuals. To my god tier observing of these two idiots, who's the winner? The winner of the national balls is going to be Hugh.
Let's go.
Why do I say Hugh's the winner, guys? There's a certain game called Cuphead. Why do I say Cuphead is a good platform game? Because Corey Kenshin himself has played the game himself.
Oh, hold on. I don't like this anymore. You're a Corey Kenshin Glazer. That's the only reason you made me win.
No, you quite literally put a game theory video in the chat. You glazed map pack and he died.
Shut up. I'm not done talking.
Yes,
Lower
sir.
thy tone in my presence.
Also, wait. One more thing. Mr. Judge, can I say something?
Yes.
So now I have a folder of like 500 Goth Latinas. All I'm gonna say, bro, is that like FPSs are real good, and like hypothetically, like I got a folder, and like if you did change your mind and rule in my favor, I would drop you like 30.
But Elliot, I have Futa. Thank you for being
Alright, and there goes all of our judges' credibility.
Goodbye, everybody. I won as always, because I win basically every single episode. Don't pay attention to the fact that actually Thomas was just me writing Corey Kenshin. But we'll see you next time, where we debate whether Elliot should have rights or not.